Was everything really just gone? Was it all just really over? But then I remembered. No, 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 no. Oh, that was my only one.
It's not your time. I have plans for you yet.
Welcome to my hardcore forever world. Normally, one death would end everything. When I started this world, I set my own rules, however. I could respawn, but only by accepting severe challenges or punishments. Early on, I built this place to house those early first challenges. The very first challenges were simple, but important. They were to make a video, document this world, show it off, and kind of keep myself somewhat accountable for these challenges. And the second, to build a new structure to house the challenges, better than this one, to house all of the challenges that are to come. And that'll be the foundation for this challenge or series or whatever it is. The whole system exists to punish me, mostly in Minecraft, but in how I just approach things generally. I want this to be very difficult and very punishing. This world still runs on the rules that I choose, but after dying, it feels riskier now. Like, the margins for error are a lot smaller. But before we get into building the new building structure area to house all of these challenges. I have been playing this world for quite some time, and a couple months now or so, and I really should show you everything that I've been working on so far and what I've been building towards. So let's head over to the nether portal over here, and we can start the tour off and show you what I've been working on so far. Might as well start the tour off coming out of the portal. We have, this is very much a work in progress. This was the thing I was working on when I died, but we were working on a nether hub, as I do primarily most of my traveling on the nether roof. There's not a whole lot up here at the moment, being at this was an early stage. But this is a build I wanted to kind of try a sample for what I was thinking for the overall lore in this world, which we will get into probably not in this video, but I'll give you a couple little snippets and you'll get to see a couple of the builds that do have some of the lore tied in. But this is very much a work in progress, and there's only a couple things up here, so we're probably not going to get into anything up here. We'll head back to the main platform, which is... So coming out of this nether portal here, we head back this way to our main platform. This is where we kind of keep all of our main stuff and have everything. I will try to show off everything roughly in the order that I built it. If I can remember, there is a lot of stuff here to go over. And we do need to grab a few things for the build along the way, so we might as well grab a couple shulker boxes, because we might need those. And I guess we'll start here on the main platform. This was the first thing I built, was this platform in the middle of this ocean. I can open the map here and show you. I came off this island here and built this bridge here and built this platform here. First thing I built was some starter farms to get me going, and then I built this area for another portal, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with this idea. I kind of just throw like any pop-up like little redstone farms and things that I need over here. This area is my storage area. This is one of the newest things, and where I think my totem went when I died, unfortunately. I think I accidentally threw it into the sorting chest for the copper golems when I was moving my chests, which were along that wall, to go into this super basic copper golem sorting system that I built. And then we have over here just basic tables, crafting tables and stuff, and then brewing station, enchantment station. Not sure what I'm going to put here yet. Heading over in this direction, we have a map that I plan to build out and put somewhere. I have a build idea for this at some point, but for right now it just kind of sits in the middle here. And then over here we have, this is like, this planned to be like my like gear station, keep, you know, trident mace, some extra pickaxes, hoes, shovels, that type of stuff. But then I kind of just moved up most of it into my ender chest. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do in this area. I still keep some things that I use, beacons and stuff like that. This wall was full of a lot of things before my ender chest. And then on the backside of this wall, you probably heard them already, but a couple of happy gas for building in this area. There's a walkway to them back here as well. And then, let's see, what would be next? I did build down here first. Got a couple beacons under the water. Get in this hole, maybe. Coming down here, the only thing I have down here is I have little lava farm, which feeds into a super basic super smelter. It did the job at the beginning, but the builds quickly got bigger and bigger and out of hand, and now I don't really use it unless I have small batches. Here we have a basic stone farm, cobblestone farm, whatever you want to call it. And that's it for down here. That just goes down to the mine. Coming back up, if you go north across this bridge, this was the first real building I made here on the world. Whoops. First real building I made here in the world, and this was the first building that tied in the lore ideas. A little snippet I can give you. What I was going here was like nether ripped into the overworld. This is our villager trading hall. Anything you really could ever need as far as trading for emeralds is over here, and it's my primary food source for golden carrots. All your gear, pickaxe, tools you could ever need. Every book trade you could ever need is in here. And then over here, I just have a bunch of other miscellaneous guys for terracotta and wool and those type of things. I think that's it up this way. So if we head back, I guess the next thing I made after that was an iron farm, which is off over here. Yeah, just a super basic iron farm. It gets the job done. So we can come down in here, show you what we got going on down in this farm. This just comes down into here. And in down here, you can see the killing chamber and iron, and I have it crafted into. Yeah, heading back towards the main platform from the iron farm. On this island here, we have a couple of smaller farms. This is our moss farm, which I did preload a little bit of. I can't get in the ladder. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. I did preload some moss into some pale moss because we do need pale moss for the build. So I'll grab a bunch of that and then we'll show you what's next. Coming up out of the moss farm, in this wall here, we have a XP grinder, mob grinder. This is just armadillos on a fire. Splash them with infestation, silverfish. Great for mending tools. It's basically all I use it for. And then this was a concept for a flower farm to get dyes and stuff, but it didn't realize it was biome dependent, so I don't use it. I gotta move it to the biome I need dyes from. But if we head back, so all of these bridges off the main platform they were conceptual. I just put them there to have a way to the land. None of them are even remotely started. That one is literally just 1 block wide. But the rest of them were just to get the concept of what I wanted. A windy one, underwater one, straight one, and then up and down. But you get the point. Where would be next? So that was the villager trading hall. This was the island with all of with the XP grinder and stuff, and then this was the iron farm down here. So I guess behind me we have just a super simple bamboo farm with rail minecart going around underneath collecting the bamboo, and then same thing over here, but that's just hoppers, I believe, instead of minecart going around. And then down here, we have them getting crafted into blocks for us and to paper for us. Then over here, we have a simple, no, not simple, we just have a bee farm. Just honeycomb, honey blocks. We need those for a lot of things. Going back to the map for a reference one more time, I think left is the only other way we have left to go. So heading this way, we have our new furnace. I built this fairly recently. It's one of the most obnoxious things I've ever built, but it is insanely fast and amazing. When doing shulker boxes full of materials, this gets it done a hell of a lot faster than the other one that I showed you down there, which takes hours to do the same thing. And then just off over the edge here, the last couple farms that I have are a automated AFK tree farm. Stand here, place the tree, dispenser gives you bone meal, that deal, and a cobblestone farm that produces an absurdly disgusting amount of cobblestone by duping TNT to blow it up. Love this machine. It is great. I do believe cobblestone is another material that we need for the build, so I will grab a bunch of this, and honestly, I think that's it in this area. I have a couple more farms I have that I can show you, but let me grab this cobblestone and we'll get back to it. Okay, back on the main platform again. If we head off this way, I believe, we will find our first of a couple farms that are off in this direction. It's going to take a minute, so I'll see you over there. First farm on the way is a raid farm. Just super simple wooden pillar. You drink your ominous bottles here. Everything spawns up there, drops down, one hit, grab your stuff, move on. You know you need the totem farm. And the last farm is a guardian farm, so that's just here. We ended up doing a simple one that doesn't do teleporting to the nether. It's a lot slower, but it gets the job done overall. I'm going to need to AFK this for a while for what I need, but it'll get the job done. Don't mind the chest situation. on the main platform here, I realized I forgot one of the most obvious things you probably already saw, but there is just a basic mob grinder. Let me get up here. Yeah, just basic. They spawn on the platforms. Water pushes them up and pushes them down. They die, and then I have copper golems sorting it into. They get stuck sometimes. Sorting them into chests so that I can use it for villager trading and stuff like that. A lot of rotten flesh, string, stuff like that. Super useful. And then, yes, I almost forgot. One of the coolest things in my whole world. One thing that everybody should have, and everybody needs in their Minecraft world, if I'm being completely honest. Just over here past this village where I got my starter villagers from, we have the cube. Just one big water cube to world border. I need to say nothing else on that. That is the water cube. Everybody needs a water cube. Moving on back to the nether portal, I'll show you a couple things on the roof, and that should wrap up the tour, and we can get to the build. On the roof in the nether hub, we're going to head to our end portal real quick, because we have a gravity block duper there, and I have some concrete that I need to grab for the build. So yeah, basic concrete, sand duper, whatever you want to call it. Shoots out on the other side. Another mismatch of chests. We will grab some of this concrete that we need. Okay, that should be all of the items collected for the build. Just one last thing to show you. On the nether roof, one last time, we have a hoglin farm that I used to get pork chops and leather at the beginning of the world. I do not use it anymore, to be honest. But here we have another portal, and this portal leads us to where we are going to be doing our giant build that is going to build the lore for this world. We have these two huge mountains. I love this area so much. It's so cool. We have two very large mountains, and in between them we'll house a very, very large build that should barely fit. And a little teaser, it's one of my favorite builds from the 2B2T server. So if you're familiar with that at all, it's going to be that. And we have started part of the build here. There's going to be a big build in each of the tops of the mountains that will connect the mega build, and I started work here on clearing this out and getting the floor ready because I'm storing the items for the build here. As I've started to get a lot of the materials because I will need a lot of them, just for example, stone bricks. I need a lot of them. So I will be storing all of the items here before we get started on the build, and that's mainly what we're working towards in this world so far. But we got a build that ooh, the guy. I found this guy here. Look at this guy. The notorious PIG. Anyways, we have a build to get to, so let's head over there, back to the swamp, and get started on that build. Just a little ways away from the house there that we built here, we have this hill that's still in the swamp, which is what I wanted. It's already got a hole pre-dug, and I'm thinking something of a river coming out of here that leads down into this water. I'll kind of explain the idea as we're going along, because remember, this is the place that will house all of our challenges for the rest of the series. So I'm going to come down here real quick. Okay, all right. Now that we got we got this area lit up a little bit, and we have this little area set up so we can sleep through the nights, get our materials. I think I'm going to head up there and I'm going to block some stuff off and mine some of this area out. Ooh, that reminds me, we're going to need a beacon. So I'll get a beacon placed. We'll get this area started to mine out, and that way we can get the foundation for the river put in and make sure we're building this how I want to build it. At this point, I think I'm pretty happy with the outline that I have here so far. For the river, the water level is going to be where this dirt is, so I think I'm happy with this. I think I'm going to have to cut more of this wall out, but I'm going to get the rest of this side laid out, and then I'm just going to start digging, because we're going to have to get a lot of this area out. I need to go up a bunch, and I might even add one more row onto this once I get it dug out. It depends on how high I am on this hill. I didn't want to do a ton of terraforming, but as per usual, this build is bigger than I was anticipating, so I'm probably going to have to add more mountain on top of this mountain, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I think. I'm thinking I'm liking where we are in progress so far on the dig out. I like where everything is laying out. I think at this point, I'm going to start laying in the foundations of the river and start getting stuff into place. I can't really do much more with the walls and the ceiling until I figure out how high and far out I need to have them. So I'm going to get the foundation for the river in place, and I'll probably get these two front pillars in here because they're going to be tall, so they're going to give me a good idea of exactly how much of this roof I'm going to need to dig out and where I'm going to need to go from there. So let's get that foundation in and start with these pillars and keep it moving. The pillars are pillaring. I don't think I love them, but we're gonna hope it's the ugly phase because I don't know. They have potential. I don't love them, but we got the river in. The river is looking good. I like the way this is turning out. I added another section up top because why not make it bigger? And then we scoped this out. I like where this is going. I think I like this a lot. So I think we're gonna go with this on the sides because we got more we want to put over here, and I think I don't want that to be stepping up over like we had originally. So I think we're gonna go with this. I think it looks cleaner, and I think we're starting to look like we can start getting some stuff in here. I need to add the redstone and add the water that we can get the items moving, and I can show you exactly what we're doing. I don't think I've said what we're doing up until this point, so yeah, I'll get the redstone in. I'll get a couple more pillars in back there, and yeah, I'll get you filled in. We'll get the items moving, and we'll get it going. I got a little carried away. I got the redstone in, and... Oh, I don't know how to do this. I got the redstone in. We got the pillars in the back. But, you know, as you saw, I also, like, scoped out the walls and filled in the holes and, like, kind of got the mountain looking a little better. And then I even was testing out the gradient on the walls. Not sure if I'm going to go with this for these intersections, but it was a good test. The next thing we're going to do is the walls and the floors, so it'll be good to see if we like the light against the dark. We're going to do cracked deep slate for the floor and the walls. But this is the idea. I don't know if I've shared it up until this point. We will have, these are just temporary items because I was testing it. But there will be book and quills with the challenge, punishment, so be it written inside. They will be flowing down through this river. The hoppers pick them up and they just get shot out of a dispenser and they run down the water stream. It goes up a bubble column, and the same thing happens at the top where it just gets shot out of a dispenser and comes down the water. We will come up through here, and there will be a bridge going across this at some point. Let's call it here, maybe. And when I get up here, I'll walk across the bridge and I'll receive my item, and then we'll carry on, and that will be our punishment for our death. As far as the rest of the building goes now, we just have to get the walls and the ceiling in, get the floor and the stairs done up. I have something going in each of these little cutaways. And then I think it's just decoration, and then we gotta terraform this mountain, make it look better, because I don't love the way it's looking right now. If we take a look out here, I want this mountain to come up and kind of like, not eat these pillars, but like, I want that to be where like the mountain starts to peak up. So I'm definitely gonna need a bunch of dirt to make this look better. And we need to obviously not have it block off. So the hill's probably gonna come down pretty far. We're getting closer. We are getting closer to what I want this place to look like, but I think we still have a lot of work to get there, especially with the mountain itself. It's going to be a lot of work. The room is starting to shape together, but we still got a lot of work to do. Let's get these floors, the ceiling, the walls done. I think that'll help making this place look a lot better, and then we can get to the decorating and the terraforming part of this, which will be my weak point probably, but we're going to make this place look real cool. I definitely think we have the ability to do so. It is so cool to see this place finally come together. I've had this idea for so long, and to finally get it put together is very satisfying. I'm loving the way this place is looking. We just have the final steps left. I'm so excited to get this thing done. I'm loving the way it was looking, even though I've been unsure this whole process. But now We just need to add the final details, really. Get the decorations and the detaily bits. The part I'm usually not too good at, but we're going to get those put in, get some decorations put around, make this place start looking like a full build and not just the shell of it that we currently have. It's still a little bare. We get those decorations put in, and then we can do the real bit we've been putting off, terraforming this mountain, because I think that's going to take the longest. The details are done. I think we're basically done with the main build. I think we're here. I think the main part of the build is done and complete. And I like the way it turned out. I never know what is enough and what is not enough when it comes to adding the detail to, I don't want it to be overcrowded, but I always feel like I overdo it. I feel like I did okay this time, but we're going to go down here. There's a couple things I need to touch up still. I gotta wax the copper at the stage we like. And I got to snip the vines. Yeah, the vines need to be snipped at the length I want. And then I noticed this on my way up here. I only did half the wall. How did I only do half the wall? I gotta finish the wall. The wall will be finished. This pathway was originally... Oh god, no! This pathway was originally going to be a temporary pathway, but I kind of like it. So I think we're going to keep this as the path to the nether portal, which we're going to build up on this hill. Originally, the nether portal was going to be a little more serious, a little more themed to what we did with this area, but I was goofing around in the creative world and I had kind of a dumb idea and I like it, so we're gonna build a huge nether portal right here. It shouldn't take too long. I got the supplies already. It didn't take too long to get. So that'll probably be the next thing I build, as well as getting the hill more hill. It needs to be more hill-like. I don't know how to describe it. It's not hill enough. I don't want it to be a mountain, but it needs to be a hill. We'll figure that out. Let's get that done. We'll get the other bits tidied up. We'll get the nether portal built, and then we'll get to the challenges. We'll get the books written up and we'll get them in the river and we'll call this build complete. Let's get to it. Build is finally done. It is complete, and I am so happy with the way it's turned out. I got all of the first set of challenges in my inventory ready to get put in to the river and get this place functional. But as you can see, we got everything fully done. So if we just come down here like we would come out of our nether portal when we would be dead and on our way here, we have quite the long run for you to think about all of the bad decisions and things that led up to you coming to get here on your nice slow walk over here through the scenic countryside. You'll come up through here, and we have our river up here that will be housing all of our challenges that I have in my inventory here. So we'll get these thrown in. I don't want to spoil all of them, but I will show you one of them, one of the easiest ones, because these are meant to be insanely difficult and not fun at all. I don't want to die, and it's going to be difficult, but the first one, remove and destroy all items in all chests. The only items that I will be allowed to keep when this challenge happens is anything on my person, which I will have just died, so is not likely. And I guess any item in an item frame, but that's like, you know, nothing. So it's not going to be good. So let's throw these in one at a time. And I've noticed the best way to do that is throw it into this bottom hopper and wait for the click of the dropper. And it spaces them out pretty evenly for the first set. And then when I throw more in later, it makes it easier to space them out. But I could probably fit double the amount that I threw in here. But I left space for more challenges to come up with later. And if anybody has any good ideas, leave a comment, and we can maybe get some in here. They should be coming down. I tested this so many times. Why are they not coming down yet? What is going on? I didn't put a non-finished book in here. What is this? What? Your work is adequate, but you are not the only one building. Water conceals what is placed with intention. Look where the water flow ends at the base. I am waiting. What is this? Where the water flow ends at the base. Maybe at the bottom here? What? Let's go look down here. Water flow ends at the base. Down here, nothing. What is this? There's a button. Oh, that's not good. Oh, gosh. What is this?
You were not meant to stand back up. The first time you fell, the world reached for you. Wooden hands, borrowed light, a lie shaped like mercy. Totems do not save. They interrupt. I exist in the spaces between outcomes. Where a moment should end, I apply pressure. But when the totem burns, it pushes back. It drowns me in noise. It resists correction. Saving you through it is inefficient. And yet, you continue. That is not chance. That is not luck. That is interest. I have watched you die. I have watched you refuse to stay dead. Understand this. Every time a totem flares, I must pull harder. The world must bend further. Things fray. Systems slip. Precision is lost. The cost does not come from cruelty. It comes from strain. I have made an allowance. 10 times I can reach through the interference. 10 times I can hold you in place long enough for breath to return. But each intervention demands a concession. Something must loosen. Something must dull. Something must give. These are not punishments. They are compromises. The price of my continued attention. You will feel them in small places, in the way the world responds more slowly, in how certainty fades at the edges. When the 10th thread is spent, I will not pull again, not because I choose not to, but because I cannot. The totems will have taken everything they can from me. When that moment comes, you will stand without correction. No hands, no delays, no second motions. Only consequence. Until then, take the gifts, accept the cost, and understand this one thing clearly. I am not keeping you alive out of kindness. I am doing it because you are still worth watching. There is one omission. When I set you a trial, when the game is in motion, my reach is narrowed to a point. If you fall then, there is no space to intervene. No correction, no delay, no concession. The world will close as it was meant to, and even I cannot pull you back while the challenge is still unresolved.
With the challenges placed, this build is finished. Now that it's done, it feels like things can actually start. I've been thinking a lot about what's to come next for this world, and though we still have a lot of foundations to lay and farms to set up, there's a build I've been planning for a long time. It's not tied to the challenges, it's tied to the world itself. It's something I've been hinting at. And honestly, I can't wait to finally start working on it. Because everything so far has been leading towards this one thing, assuming I can make it that far. And soon, I get to show you the mega build.